the great prophecy. I am actually making a video every month for this series.
Wow, good job.
Hello and welcome to my July edit. So I will not lie, this month is mostly just drinks and crafts. I didn't really realize how many drinks and crafts I was doing, but that was pretty much the whole month for me. Didn't even read anything new, which I think is fine. I definitely think for me reading comes and goes with seasons, and I always have books for specific things. For example, I have a book that I only read in the bath. It goes well together, it pairs well with the bath. You know, sometimes you need a book pairing for some of the things that you do in life. But I have a bath book, but I've been chipping away at it for months. It's not like something new I've been reading for July. So unfortunately for July, I have no books. Hopefully August comes and I will be reading something new. So the first drink that I have is a bedtime smoothie. I saw this recipe online for a nighttime smoothie that's supposed to help with sleep. However, it had spinach in it and maybe it was protein. It didn't seem very sleepy nap time to me and seemed very good morning sunshine, time to get ready for the day. Here's protein and spinach and iron and all these things that I don't really think mesh well with getting wound down for the night. So I modified it a little bit. And all this smoothie really is frozen blueberries, pure tart cherry juice, bananas, and chamomile tea. That's literally all you need, and it tastes so good if you get the balance right, but it might take a little practice. The thing about this smoothie that has worked really well for me is that sometimes at night I'll be really craving a sweet treat before bedtime. And I am trying to eat healthier, and this is something that I think you can throw together and you're getting benefits for having a good sleep. Obviously, chamomile tea, I use the sleepy time tea with the bear on it, is going to help you fall asleep just because of the chamomile having calming properties, and also sleepy time teas just for sleepy time. I associate it so closely with sleepy time. Bananas have potassium that is supposed to help with sleep. And honestly, the blueberry flavor, the thicker you make it, the more of a treat it is. This night I made 2 servings, one for me and my partner, so we were able to enjoy that before bed. I think I didn't put enough blueberries in it though and had too much tea and didn't let it sit out long enough. So if you try this, try to have the chamomile tea cool down before you add it to your frozen blueberries, because it will melt them and then it will be less of a smoothie and more of a drink, but it's still a good beverage. I still liked it. The next drink I have been enjoying a lot in July is a classic sun tea. Now, if you don't know what sun tea is it's basically just tea that you brew in the outside sun to give you tea that summery sunshine energy. And it's just something really fun and cute that I like to do. This tea that I made, I just used some loose leaf rose, some loose leaf raspberry leaves, and then I threw in a mint tea bag for flavor. And this was really good and refreshing. You can also chill this and you can make any kind of tea with it. I think this tea is just a really good way to celebrate summer and the sun and just the midsummer season. Another thing that happened this month is it was one of my best friend's birthday, and I was able to decorate for her whole birthday party, and I had this kind of aesthetic theme that I was going for that I saw on Pinterest, which is kind of just a whimsical, youthful, lighthearted party with streamers and paper flowers hanging from the ceiling and candles everywhere. So I picked up some pink taper candles, didn't make these ones, and I decorated these glass bottles I had been saving for crafts. and kind of like put her name on it, put how old she was turning, put little flowers on it and other colors that were matching her birthday, and then topped it off with a bow. And honestly, I just thought it was a really cute idea to celebrate her and celebrate her birthday, and they looked so good. It was adorable. All the colors matched, and yeah, it was great. So if you ever are decorating and you want to add a little bit more pizzazz and personality to your party, you can always just steal this idea. It's really, really cute. So something else that I have tried this month finally that I've been meaning to try for a while is air dry clay. I have tried to work on projects with clay before for cosplays and gifts for people, and I had always hated it so much. I literally hate working with clay, but I decided to give it another shot. And for this project, I don't know if you've seen these paint palettes that have been all over Pinterest and stuff, but they're all over my feed with the seashells. I had these shells that I had collected from a beach in Washington, and I had been wanting to use them for a bit. The air dry clay I used is pretty good. I haven't used air dry clay before. I typically would use the baking clay, and I actually think I might prefer it over the baking clay. It's so messy. I get frustrated with it. I don't know why I dislike clay so much, because it seems like something I typically like, but I think I just needed to give myself more time and patience with it. So I took the shells and oriented them how I thought would look best on the palette and for the best use. And then I flattened a strip of clay and just kind of cut it out and went for it. I don't know, I wasn't really thinking about how I was gonna hold it, which if I was to do this again, and if you're going to do this, I recommend that you think about maybe putting a little handle on it. So I did that, put some pearl beads in that I had for a different project, and then I let it dry for 24 hours. However, another thing I did is I let it dry on a chair that had not a flat bottom, so it had like bars on the bottom, and I'm pretty sure it warped a little bit. Now it doesn't sit flat. I also turned it around and let it dry upside down, which probably did not help my situation. But if you're to do this, just make sure it dries flat. I don't know, I have no advice. I can't figure it out for the life of me, but try to make sure it dries flat. Another thing is, which I was prepared for, not everything stuck together, even though I tried to mold it together. So I knew I was going to have to super glue a bunch of stuff onto it, and I just recommend doing that anyways so it doesn't fall apart. Maybe I should have let it dry without the beads and shells on and then glued everything down. Kind of, make the imprint for where it goes, let it dry, and then hot glue gun it to the clay spots that are carved out for the shells. Should have probably done that. Another thing is this hot glue gun, fun fact, is the one that left this scar. It's the only scar I have. I have a scar on my arm. This hot glue gun gets really hot, and I did burn myself again in the process of making this, but I don't think bad enough to scar me, but that's the exact hot glue gun that gave me that burn mark. So I decided to add some paint to it. Some of my paint was dried up and crusty, but I persevered. And I think, honestly, the paint is cute. I like glitter. I want it to look like a mermaid palette. And I honestly think I really like how it turned out. It has a lot of personality. I might end up painting it more or gluing more things to it just to make it a little bit more maximalist, like me. But I think this is a good place to hold it. I think I picked a good size. I did add the pearl and the big shell to clean my brush better. This, in my head, is the water reservoir. So I would fill the big one with water and all of these ones with color. And yeah, I don't know, I really like how it turned out. It was actually really fun. Definitely my favorite clay project I've ever made, big or small, because I've hated everything that I've made with clay up until this point. So if you hate clay like me, but you want to like clay, I recommend trying this because it's cute and it's fun. It's something to do with your seashells you've collected. So for the most part, this month felt like a lot of upcycling. All of my saved bottles that I hoarded and seashells that I also hoarded came to beautiful use. And if you're seeing this, this is a sign that you should hoard all of your jars and seashells too, because you never know when you're going to use them or need them for a project. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot to mention this. I love digital cameras, as you all know. Well, you might know. And I have gone through 2 in the past 2 years. They just keep breaking because I throw them in my purse, and my purse is big and full of stuff. Literally, look at my purse. It's just, there are so many things in here that, like, of course it would probably break easily. But I do know one I dropped on the floor at the top of a very tall building in New York, and then the other one just broke in my bag passively. It was very sad. But I did pick up recently the cybershot, which if you are into digital cameras, this one is pretty well known, classic. The one thing though about it is that it doesn't use an SD card. So you do have to get a converter if you pick one of these up. But I have loved just taking it everywhere with me and then taking really cute photos on my adventures. Whenever I whip it out, my friends are always like, oh my god, a digital camera! I haven't seen one of those in forever. Or they're too young to know what they are. But yeah, it's been really special using these again. But yeah, definitely something I've been enjoying this month. Another wonderful thing that is very summery that I definitely do year-round, I did a lot in college, but I've picked up doing it again this month, is not this very good book about cooking. It's actually pressing flowers in between big books is what I usually use because I don't have a flower press, but it works just as well. And I love learning about the local flora where I live and different plants and logging them maybe in a journal with your pressed flower. It's a very fun, whimsical, summery activity that you could even do with a kid and teach them about the local plants and flowers that are in your neighborhood. Pressing flowers is really great. One thing I do recommend if you're going to try this, and what I've learned, is that changing out the wax paper really helps with preventing the flowers from browning, because sometimes it's inevitable, they're just going to brown, but sometimes you can get really clean colors if you change out the wax paper in the beginning few days, is what I have found. But yeah, you can use pressed flowers for lots of different art projects and decorations. All you really need is Mod Podge and you can stick them to anything. So yeah, something I recommend doing to feel more summery. Something I've been loving this July is pressing flowers. Simple, but so magical and fun. Reflecting back on July, I honestly have been so busy this month, but I've been having so much fun. And I've been hiking a lot more and going outside a lot more. And it's just something I've been really enjoying this month, is being busy. And yeah, I'm excited for August, but this was a really great summer, probably one of the best summers I've ever had. So I hope this summer was treating you well, and I will see you in August. Bye. Someone just rang my doorbell.